Today, we're looking at the newest Hermes Agent release straight from the official GitHub repository. Hermes is moving fast, and this update is not a small patch. The repo points us into the release notes for version 0.17, the June 19th update, and the headline is clear. This is the Reach release. The theme is Hermes extending into more surfaces, more channels, more tooling, and more team workflows. At the top of the release page, the scale jumps out immediately. Hermes Agent version 0.17, tagged v2026.6.19, landed on June 19th. Since version 0.16, the release notes count roughly 1,475 commits, around 800 merged pull requests, more than 1,600 files changed, and more than 240 community contributors. So this is less of a point update and more of a platform expansion. The highlights section explains why the release is called Reach. Hermes now reaches iMessage through Photon Spectrum, without needing a MAC relay. It also gains a Raft gateway channel, so Hermes can participate in the Raft agent network. The desktop app gets deeper capabilities, background subagents can keep running while the main conversation continues, and image generation is no longer only text to image. The image tool can now edit and transform existing images. The second half of the highlights is about making Hermes easier to operate. Automation blueprints let users schedule useful workflows without learning cron syntax. Cursor's composer model appears through an XAI Grok subscription. The dashboard gains a full profile builder. The Skills Hub browser is reworked with previews and security scanning. The memory tool now supports atomic batch operations. Dashboard login is hardened, and Hermes adds an official WhatsApp Business Cloud API adapter alongside the older bridge approach. For users who live inside the app, the desktop and dashboard sections are some of the most practical changes. The desktop app adds rebindable shortcuts, native notifications, live subagent watch windows, editable composer prompts, model selectors, provider controls, marketplace themes, better terminal panes, and stronger multilingual handling. On the web dashboard side, profile creation becomes much more complete. Model choice, skills, MCP servers, tool backends, profile switching, skills editing, webhooks, file browsing, and reasoning controls move into the browser experience. Under the hood, the release notes show a major architecture cleanup. The project is breaking up several God files. The CLI main path is dramatically reduced and reorganized into subcommand modules and mixins. Gateway code is split into dedicated authorization, /command, and Kanban watcher components. The core agent turn loop is also being carved into clearer structures like turn context, finalize turn, and retry state. That kind of refactor matters because it makes the agent easier to maintain as the product surface grows. The agent loop and tool system also get meaningful upgrades. Memory can now take an operations array, so add, replace, and remove edits. Apply atomically against the final memory budget. Search results are densified to use fewer tokens without losing matches. File reading now extracts notebooks, Word documents, and Excel workbooks into text. There are improvements to context file truncation, compression summaries, and provider support, all aimed at making long-running work more reliable and less wasteful. The messaging platform section is where Hermes becomes more reachable. The release adds iMessage through Photon Spectrum, an official WhatsApp Business Cloud API path, SimpleX support, and the bundled Raft platform adapter. The gateway also gets richer rendering and reliability work across Telegram, Discord, Slack, Signal, email, Matrix, WhatsApp, and other channels. This matters because Hermes is not only a terminal agent. For many users, the messaging gateway is the actual interface they use every day. The command line and setup experience also move forward. There are new /commands like version and billing, better status bar feedback, profile worktree locking, structured profile build flows, plugin overlays, improved modal handling, and new text-to-speech controls. In the tool system, skills, and MCP section, image-to-image editing is the headline, but the release also adds MCP catalog improvements, elicitation handling for confirmations, better plugin installs, skill workflows, and write approval controls for memory and skills. For teams and operators, the fleet, relay, and automation section is important. Manage scope lets administrators pin configuration and secrets. Multiple profiles can be multiplexed over one gateway process. Cron scheduling becomes pluggable, with a managed Chronos provider mentioned in the notes. And automation blueprints give non-technical users a friendlier path into scheduled work. The Docker, Nix, and installer sections are less flashy, but they show the same theme: making Hermes easier to deploy, supervise, update, and recover. Security and reliability receive a large amount of attention. The notes call out fail-close behavior for policy-sensitive gateway adapters and approval button authorization, redaction of secrets in debug dumps, stricter MCP STDIO checks, shell escape hardening, environment scrubbing, dependency CVE bumps, and safer cron handling. Windows support also gets substantial work around conpty, PowerShell resolution, winget registration, path repair, running process locks, and PTY reliability. The notable bug fixes section closes the loop with URL encoding, FTS search fixes, multimodal persistence, provider retry behavior, and cron repair. The final section is the contributor story. The release notes thank 245 contributors with a long list of merged pull requests and focused areas: desktop maturity, onboarding, model pickers, gateway fixes, installer reliability, dashboard work, and build pipelines. My takeaway is that Hermes 0.17 is not just about one headline feature. It is about reach, more channels, stronger desktop and dashboard surfaces, deeper automation, safer operations, and a code base that is being reshaped to carry all of that forward.